What's up, Rob?
So I just want to let everybody know. As you may have known, I fell off a scooter in Denver.
Oh, you know what? Arcan tweeted about this. I didn't know about that.
Well, the problem is...
take those glasses off.
The problem is, Mego, I have a massive amount of makeup on my eye right now.
Oh, because you're doing TV.
Yeah.
It looks good.
Yeah.
Did your wife do it?
No, I have a makeup person. No.
You have an actual makeup person for Nessa?
The nice lady at Nordstrom. I sat in their seat.
Oh.
Yeah.
Very smart.
Wait, did you actually do that?
Things that I did not think I'd be doing on the trade deadline.
Wait, you walked into a mall. First of all, it's so rare that people walk into a mall these days.
I know.
But I love it.
I asked Jemai Webster. I said, "What do I do?" I mean, if you could see, I'll show you a picture of my eye, and it's on social media. My eye's a mess. It's an absolute mess. Because I landed on my face. So
when are you going to tell us what actually happened?
What, was this an electric?
No one believes.
But I think it's a good story.
This is an electric scooter.
Yeah, one of those scooters.
Yeah,
right. I hit like a curve. I don't know what I hit.
We just did him explaining about how dangerous these are.
It's a whole thing, right? But thank you. You're surfacing that concern because it is.
You should have listened.
They don't
to it.
wear
Maybe
helmets.
You wouldn't be getting makeup at
It was the end. I was 12 days away. I was like on the road. I was taking a red eye that night, and then I do a face plant. I'm bleeding all over the wall all over the street. But as I was gonna say,
sounds like my wedding day.
The first.
It does. There's a lot of blood.
You know, in Colorado, the altitude's a little higher. You have a couple beers. You don't realize it. All of a sudden,
Plus,
a little Rocky Mountain high.
I was going to say, what's going on in that city? We're on to you.
Down goes Frazier.
All I wanted
That's
to
what
say,
happened.
while I was crumpled on the ground with all these people gathered around me, the first thing I said, they yelled McFarland.
They're like, he's okay.
He's okay.
He's all right.
It's protocol. It's all good.
McFarland's his emergency contact.
Yeah. He knows where he is. So I don't know.
So, I'm sorry I didn't answer your question.
No. I was going to say, I don't know if we have this up on Twitch, but I've seen this picture for are these like, do you have like braces on your wrists as well? Like I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
Yes?
You hurt your wrist?
My wrists kill. I had x-rays on them. I don't know how you got a mic there so quick. But,
yeah, it's true.
Yeah. It was, I literally fell on my face. I guess my wrist sort of helped, but because they kill.
This is like when Clay Buchholz would have an injury, and it's like, what happened, Clay? He's like, I was carrying groceries up the stairs.
I got hurt on my bike.
My baby laid on my shoulder awkwardly, and now here I am.
This is a plausible accident explanation.
Oh, Paxton Crawford, I stepped on a glass.
I will say this, is that I didn't get checked for a concussion because I was pretty sure I didn't have a concussion.
Yeah, and you were so high.
It was
the McFarland test.
That's true. It was probably not great that after the accident, I drank multiple beers and went on a red-eye flight. I don't think that was concussion protocol, but I powered through, and here we've landed the trade deadline. And yes, Lucas Sims is a member of the Red Sox.
Okay, so let me tell you, I think this all ties in with the Red Sox and their trade deadline. I feel like it's kind of like your accident in Denver. Like I like this is not a satisfactory amount of moves. There are three things they needed to do. They needed a right-handed bat. They technically got one, but it's a backup catcher. They needed a starter in James Paxton. That, to me, is nowhere near enough. That's a guy off the scrap heap who may or may not belong in a big league rotation. I don't think he does. And then you got your reliever today in Lucas Sims. So let's say you check one of those three boxes. Fair or unfair as a way to characterize it, and do you think they're done?
I don't think they're done because too much stuff is going on. This isn't like nothing's going on.
What?
Well,
What's going on?
No, I don't know.
Baseball.
No, but throughout baseball.
Oh, I
throughout
thought you meant
baseball.
with the Red Sox.
No. I mean, this is a lot of times we get to this point. There's just nothing. There's just nothing. And then, but there's a lot of stuff going on, and they've obviously already made that move.
Tanner Scott to the Padres.
Oh, I mean,
just happened.
The Padres. You gotta. I mean, to be a fan of the Padres. AJ Preller. He just keeps trading and trading and trading.
He does.
Okay, so the Padres aren't done. Are the Red Sox done?
No, I don't. My guess is they're not. Is it going to make people happy? I don't know. So to come back to your question or your statement, when they said, I heard you guys talk about this, you're picking a lane. They have picked a lane because they're trading minor leaguers for major leaguers, right?
Oh.
No, they are. I mean, you might not like the major leaguers.
Priester a major leaguer? He's in AAA.
No, that Priester, but Priester's one example, right? No, he is not a major leaguer right now, but these other guys are major leaguers. In other words, you are trading minor leaguers for people that you think can help
your major
selling. League team. You're not selling, so you're picking that lane, and we'll see where that goes. Now, personally, yes, I think we're all in this agreement. We want to see these are all fine, and Lucas Sims might be fine because when they made the deal for Austin Davis and Hansel Robles in 2021, I remember really?
Yeah, we didn't like it. I agree with that.
Really?
Yeah.
And they helped.
They did.
They helped. So that's fine. You do that, but you would like to see the Kyle Schwarber part of that. You would like to see, and I think for me, what they need most, even above a right-handed hitting bat. And Alex Cora just talking, I think you played some of it, which is some fail-safe starting pitching. I mean, you can't keep going down this road and expect that this is going to be sustainable, what has carried them for most of the year. I think they absolutely need a starting pitcher who is going to pitch in the playoffs. Like, Paxton is the guy. He's fine. He's going to help you get to the finish line. But if you do not get the Houck, the Crawford, the Bayo, the Pavetta that you got earlier in the year, which is a very real scenario because these guys haven't pitched that deep, then you're going to be in trouble. So I would like them to get that guy. And I know that, Mego, you had mentioned Flaherty. Flaherty's a rental. I'd be shocked if they got him, especially considering they're going up against teams that are much more aggressive than they are. But if in Crochet, you would have to give up the same sort of package that you did for Chris Sale, and he's not Chris Sale. He hasn't done that.
So who, like, what's a name that would be out there?
Well, I mean, if you want to get super aggressive, which I don't think they'll do, is Skubal. Skubal is a guy you're going to have to give up one of your top 3 guys for.
Who's realistic?
That's a good one. I don't know. I mean, Flaherty. No,
so is it just not going to happen?
No. I mean, I don't. It's not. I think they'll make a move, Mego.
Yeah.
But the move that I want them to make,
it'll be some rando.
Yeah, I mean, I think that is it going to be a guy who's
respectfully some rando,
some guy that's going to start in playoff game. That's what I would like them to do. I know that's what Kenley Jansen would like them to do.
Sure.
And you know, and other guys probably in that clubhouse. And now we've talked about this before. It's a young clubhouse. They're just like whatever. But still, there are guys in that clubhouse that say, let's go, especially when you look around the league right now.
I mean, Tyler O'Neill whispered it to you on the Baseball Isn't Boring podcast.
He wants to see the excitement.
Trevor Story wants it. So you're right. Those are veteran guys. I want to ask you, why are other teams more aggressive than them? Like, why? They're right in the playoff mix. Why are other teams more aggressive than them? They should be aggressive.
We have to have the caveat of, right, you still have an hour and 25 minutes.
Right.
And we don't know how Craig Breslow operates. But it's a great point because my problem is that you've been having this farm system, which we have all these rankings of how great this farm system is. So if we're to believe how great this farm system is, and I'm not talking about the top guys, I'm talking about across the board, then that should be able to get you competitive for some of these other arms that we're talking about. The Andrew Chafin, the JT Chagua, the guy who was having a great year, these other relief pitchers, Jason Adam, who went to the San Diego Padres from the Rays. That should get you in the conversation. Is it going to be uncomfortable? Yes, it is. But if you have such a great farm system, then let's go. I mean, this is what we shouldn't ignore, and this is what we've been screaming from the mountaintops, which is if you're in the position to make the playoffs in this current iteration of baseball, then make the playoffs. And that's what you're seeing. The Mariners just got another person. I mean, they got Chagua, this reliever. They got Justin Turner. I think they just got somebody else. I mean, they got a Rosarena. Yeah. I mean, they're in basically the same situation as the Red Sox. So my point is, get uncomfortable because I don't care what happens in the future. You have a chance to win this year. You are good enough. And Alex Cora basically says that every chance he gets.
In the event that, in the event that they don't make this big move that we're all sort of pining for here, is there any reason why we should believe this team won't pack it in like they did the last 2 years when they didn't do anything at the deadline?
First of all, they've done better than Luis Urias.
They've done better than that already.
Right.
But they still haven't.
And yeah, you're right. And
would the clubhouse consider that enough? If they don't do anything else,
some people in the clubhouse will not. Some people probably will. But to your point, we have to go into this, and Cora poo-pooed this about you've had 4 straight Augusts of bad records, right? And so that's what has happened. You have 2022, where you were in a very similar situation. You're limping to the trade deadline, and as soon as you trade Christian Vasquez, I don't care if you got Hosmer and Pham back, as soon as you trade Christian Vasquez, everybody in there looked at that as a sell. Yeah. So you have, even in 2021, they had traded for Schwarber, but the guy had half a hamstring and didn't play for 2 weeks. And then you get a couple unknown relievers. So there was that dynamic. They lost for the first 2 weeks after that deadline. So I mean, I think that it would surely help, and I've said this to you guys before, I think, if there is a clubhouse, if there is a time to give this team a pat on the back, I think it will go a long, long way, even for younger players who don't even know they need a pat on the back. But it sure feels the last couple, a week or so, that this is a team that needs to catch their second win. And I think that this move that they made for the reliever, like, that should have been done a week ago.
Right. Agreed.
They would have. They would have won. This isn't hyperbole. They would have won 3 more games. If you think this guy is an 8th inning reliever, well, that's what you needed in those games.
I was a little surprised that they decided to bring in. I know what he offers on offense a little bit, but that they decided to bring up a new backup catcher. Is how much of that has to do with Reese McGuire's off-field business?
No.
Do you have any sense of that?
Reese McGuire, he was really liked in that clubhouse, and
They're ready to go beat somebody up.
The timing was interesting.
Wait, was the
with on-field
the
conflict?
The Reese McGuire just wasn't good for the last couple of months.
The franchise didn't feel like embarrassed by that incident or anything like that?
No. I think the
Incident?
players were
The one in
pissed.
Colorado.
Yeah, the players the players were pissed. I mean, the players were pissed after they saw the video and everything else. But I mean, that was an isolated incident, and Reese McGuire just wasn't good for the last couple of months. But Mego, to your point, when you saw that trade made, and by the way, I like the fact that they gave up 3 minor leaguers for a guy, because it was always like, oh, you give up, you get 4 guys. Oh, look, we got 4 or 5 guys, and it covers ourselves. No, just identify the guy that you want, give up 3 minor leaguers. Half of them will make the major leagues. That's okay. But I was surprised that it was a catcher. But then as it's gone on, I can see what they're doing. I don't know if it'll work, but the way that they view Jansen is that they view him as the right-handed hitting solution, or a right-handed hitting solution, so they can move Connor Wong to second and first base. So what's going to be interesting to me, I just saw Justin Turner out there, and I told him, I said, I thought 80% you would be with the Red Sox. 80%.
What did he say?
He didn't say anything.
He didn't say, you're right?
No, he didn't. He just said, oh, you never know. It's like, but I thought, we all saw it. This is a good fit. But it will be interesting at the end of the day. If Jansen gets on a heater, right? And then we say, oh, look, that guy has better numbers with Justin Turner. I wouldn't be surprised. So, Mego, your point about the catcher was surprising, but then you hear like, okay, they're going to move Wong around. All right, I get that's okay. That's fine. But the biggest thing to me is there is a lot of maybes. You got to do something that's maybe a little less of a maybe, if that makes sense. There's a lot of maybes in my maybe statement. but do something that is going to get that clubhouse excited and going to get us excited and is going to help the team. Boom, the big 3. That's it.
Do you have anything, Arkan, or no? I have one more. Okay, so when it comes to Cora, I heard you talking about this a little bit over the weekend. We haven't talked to you since the Cora extension.
Yeah.
What changed? Why is he taking the money now?
Because this is what happened. A few weeks ago, I love that he came on here. We're not talking. You guys drove the news cycle on that thing. That was great, right?
I wasn't here. I was on vacation.
It doesn't matter. Your name's on the show.
I cannot take credit for being lied to.
No, it was all. He played it perfectly, right? He was. I don't think he was like.
If by that you mean he lied to our face?
No. Maybe. Is that the way you guys took?
I asked him if there was a number
Point
that he'd
blank,
take in
yeah.
season, and he said no.
Okay, then he lied to you.
Yeah, that's a lie. Yeah, right. Yeah.
But so what happened a few weeks ago, and we always said this, and people could agree or not agree. Craig Breslow was ultimately going to decide if Alex Cora was going to be the manager, and so a couple weeks ago, or whatever, 3 weeks ago, he went up to ownership and said, I'm convinced Alex Cora is the guy I want to negotiate. Okay, that's step 1. Step 2 is you going to go down there with a number, to your point? It was a good point by you, which is he going to say, are you going to offer him $3 million? And he's like, no, I don't think you heard me. I'm not talking. No, they come in at $7 million. $7 million. No manager other than Counsell is even making over $5 million. So they came in aggressively, like they should have done with Xander Bogaerts and Mookie Betts and John Lester and all. They did the right thing. They come in. He's not going to turn it down. They say they throw around 5 years. They throw around 2 years. He settles on 3 years.
Hang on. They offered him 5, and he said no.
They talked to him about 5, yeah.
And he said no.
Yeah, it sounds like that. He said ownership broached the subject of 5 years with him, yes.
Why?
Yeah.
Why would
he want to keep him for 5 years?
What?
Why
would he say no? He doesn't want the security. He doesn't want the extra security?
Because we've heard Alex Cora, and you can ask him when he comes on, but you can, Alex Cora has always been, I don't know if I want to do this that long.
He told us, might have been the same interview, he told us recently he wants to manage till he's 55. This would split the difference. This would be, I think he's 6 years away from being 55 off the top of my head.
Maybe the 5 years, though, was at a lower AAV. I don't know.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah,
so maybe it wasn't at the same AAV.
Yeah. So,
okay.
But the point is that the most important thing is Breslow identified, I want him to be the manager, which surprised me, not only because of what he said to you guys, but because that I thought they would get through the trade deadline because in recent years, this is where the managerial front office thing has sort of taken a turn for the worse. But they were secure in it, and they're on their way.
Okay.
I'm all good.
Rob,
Yeah.
good
I
stuff.
like that. 5 years. It was a possibility.
Interesting.
We're going to have to follow up
I
with
was going to say we're going to have to ask him about that tomorrow.
Yeah,
All
we
right.
talk.
Yeah, and he can lie to us
we
again.
talk.
Great.
Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah,
Yeah, well, that's the first question, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this one's going to be great. I'm going to.
yeah.
First question, how
Listen,
dare you?
I thought we were friends. Let's go.
As Larry David famously said on Curb Your Enthusiasm, mother effer what the f. That's where we're going to start.
He drops a bomb and then he runs away. You know,
That's you, Rob. That's
I
true.
still don't understand. that.
They offered him a 5-year contract, and now Rob's running away. He's very right. Bradford, we
Crop
appreciate it.
duster.